Hey you guys, Desmond here,
And Cretia.
and welcome back to the channel. And today we are here to discuss RuPaul's Drag Race All-Star Season 10, Episode 8, Stagecooch. But before we get into it, as always, gotta remind everyone to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. We have a goal of 1,000 subscribers, and we'll look to reach it as soon as possible. So go ahead and hit the button, alright? So, Cretia, what did you think of this episode as a whole?
This episode was it was okay. It wasn't my favorite episode.
I thought it was a pretty good episode. We got a little drama, a little strategy. There was some drama, but it's more of what people are making online.
Yeah.
But we got a little strategy. So I am excited to see how this is going to go forward. But honey, let's go ahead and get into this gig. So we start off the episode with the bottom queens entering the workroom. They sit down and they start to have a discussion on how they're going to give their points. And they were all pretty much like, yeah, we're not giving none to the top two. But honestly, I would be the same way. No, especially week one. Now, as we go on, if I'm trying to be strategic and I want a certain person to get through, maybe. Kind of like how Mistress did with Lydia. Just to screw over somebody else, I'm going to give it to somebody in the top.
Right.
But yeah, I would, week one, yeah, okay, here you get one, I get one, okay, we shall lovely. But just know, week two, we finna get into it, okay? So, the top two enter the workroom. They congratulate them on winning. We see the updated score showing Ginger with 3 points and Daya with 2. They sit down and it's time for them to give their points out. So, Cuckoo gives her point to Alyssa. Acid gives her, not Acid, but Denali gives her point to Acid. Then Acid gives her points to Denali. And then Alyssa gives her point to Cuckoo. As you said, kumbaya. But honestly, like in this case, yeah, I think I would just give it to my partner. And then that's when we get the Daya and Ginger moment where we're going to have to be a little bit selfish. So, it's the next day in the workroom. The queens come in. They're sitting at the table. And we get an updated scoreboard, I'm sorry. Ginger with 3, Daya with 2, and the remaining queens with 1 point. So they sit down and they crack a joke about how Ginger's shirt fits in with the middle of the room. So Ginger goes lay down. I thought that was hilarious. So the alarm goes off. RuPaul comes in and says we're doing a mini challenge inspired by the hit movie Clueless. So they're gonna have 20 minutes to get in their best share drag. And, of course, they're wearing the iconic yellow plaid. So, what did you think of this mini challenge? They had to read off different memeable moments from the movie and act them out for a photo shoot for RuPaul.
I thought it was cute. It was so funny. It was kind of like Kismet because I had just saw, how come I can't remember this baby's name all of a sudden? The girl who played her.
Yeah.
I had just seen her on TikTok talking about, yeah, it's turning 30. And she was going to be in these two, like, strategic cities, holding a contest for who had the best share lookalike. And I was like, it's really 30 years old? Yeah. And I was like, dang.
This movie came out when I was 3.
Oh, that means I had my cycle for 25 years. That was the first movie I watched.
Yeah.
The day I got it.
I thought this mini challenge was cute as well. Daya, always being Daya, decided to smear the lipstick in her mouth and So afterwards, RuPaul announced that the winner of the mini challenge is Denali, who won a cash tip of $1,000. So RuPaul then announced that this week's Maxi Challenge is Stagecooch. They're going to have to pair up in groups and sing and perform to the songs Key Your Car and Trailer Hitch.
Yes.
So they sit down and RuPaul tells them they have to pick their own groups. So after listening to the song, 5 queens wanted the same song.
Always.
So now that you know what the songs sound like, would you want it Key Your Car or Trailer Hitch?
I probably would have stuck with the Hitch one, just because like the Key Your Car was not my vibe.
And see, I would have been cuckoo. I'd have been sitting there like, I want Key Your Car. Like that's my type of yeah. Like they said, it gave very Miranda Lambert, very Carrie Underwood. You know that's the stuff. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna Key Your Car. All right, let's go. So the queens were discussing, well, who's gonna stay in the group? Well, Daya and Ginger Minj both decided to keep the peace and move over for the Key Your Car with Cuckoo. I'm not sure if I would have gave it up that quick. But I also understood where Ginger was coming from. She could see the fear in Alyssa's face. And I'll be like, all right. And I released a country album. I know what I'm doing. I'll go to Key Your Car. Here you go, boo. You got it. But yeah, so in the finals, we have Key Your Car, which is Diabetes, Cuckoo, and Ginger Minj. And then the Trailer Hitch, which is Acid Betty, Denali, and Alyssa Hunter. So they get down, they start writing their lyrics, and it's time for them to record their vocals. Now, they were only told that they were going to record it with the producer. But when you walk in, we have a surprise from country superstar Orville Peck. I said this last week. If you have not listened to his latest album, go listen to it. It is amazing. But
I love that he started showing his bottom half, and you can see his cute little teeth now.
Yeah, I've noticed how the mask is slowly just going up. I'm like,
because it went from I'm a gay country artist, I don't want nobody to know who I am.
Yeah, because he used to have the little strings at the bottom of his mask, so it still even covered his mouth some. But now he's just give me a little Zorro mask. I'm good.
Exactly, because now that's just his thing.
Yeah, because I don't know about you, but I know what he looks like without the mask on. So, because somebody, I believe it was on Twitter, somebody found an old magazine shoot he did without his mask, and I'm like, oh, so that's what he looks like. Okay, but yeah,
right.
At this point, you practically could tell what he looked like. Hell. But
that's what I was saying.
The queens were surprised.
Yeah. And I think the mask is just there for shits and gigs at this point.
Kind of like Sia now, with the big hair and trying to cover her face. And I'm like, ma'am, I knew who you were before this. And you weren't wearing the big wigs to cover your face. But I'm like, okay, boo, I'm going to play along. I'm going to swing from the chandelier with you, okay, honey? I'm going to tell you that I'm going to tell you I love the cheap thrills as well, all right? I'm going to be with you. I'm going to hold your hand through this, okay? Oh, listen, her Christmas album, I don't care what nobody says, she has the best Christmas album that ever existed. Ever. And it's all original Christmas music, because a lot of people these days, when they do Christmas albums, they just do the covers. She did some original Christmas music, and I love it. Ho 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 is one of my favorite. Puppies Are Forever is a good one. Especially Puppies Are Forever. Oh, Candy Cane Lane. Wait, we're not talking about Christmas right now. But Orville's here, and the queens responded the way I probably would have too. I thought it was hilarious. Who was it? I think it was Alyssa that walked up and said, "Are you single?" Oh, that tickled me.
This man.
That tickled me. I couldn't have been in the room because I would have been cackling. But we also have the producer that they did tell The queens
David
were going to be there.
Steinberg.
Yes. So they record their vocals and then they hit the main stage to rehearse their group numbers. I'm not trying to be funny, but if Jamal Sims was there, why couldn't he just choreograph this? And I'm a little salty. How come Orville didn't hit the judging panel? Like, was it a scheduling thing? Like, he could only be there for one day, but not the other?
That's what I was wondering, because I was like, was Jamal just like a last minute?
I don't know. I do not know. But the queens are sitting here and doing their choreography in some interesting outfits. Okay, so we're back in the workroom. And now everybody's talking strategy right now. This my favorite part was Acid Betty, because this would have been me. Listen, if these two heifers are in the top two again, they're looking at 4 and 6 points or 5 and 5 points. This ain't gonna work. So we need to band together to make sure one of us goes in. Yeah. We need to decide which one of us we're gonna push, because we push me cool, but I'm just as happy as pushing one of y'all as well, because we're gonna get one of us to the merger. And I'm like, damn right, you better, Acid Betty. Hopefully they give the points to you. I need Acid to make it to the next part so bad. I need it so bad in my life. And this just proved Acid is good TV. Can we please bring her back? Versus the World, another All-Stars, a global All-Stars. I don't care. I want more Acid Betty on my TV. So, after that, the queen... Oh, I loved how the last bit... not Denali. Diabetes was like... I think she heard them. I'm not sure if she said anything in the moment because they didn't show it. But Denali sure looked like... I know these bitches ain't.
Denali or Diabetes?
I mean Diabetes, Lord. Too many D's. But yeah, Diabetes was looking like, I know they ain't. And see, I'm petty.
But they're y'all over there in the corner cuckoo and kiki and strategizing too. So what's the difference?
But see, I'm petty. I would have been loud with it. I would have made sure everyone heard me say it. And then we need to make sure. And then look right back at them.
No, not
Let's get to the main stage. I couldn't get a full shot of RuPaul until the end, so we're going to introduce the judges first, then we'll talk about RuPaul's look. So, this week we were joined by Michelle Visage, Ross Matthews, and our extra special guest judge, Jamal Sims. So, here's RuPaul's full look, our hostess with the mostest, the mother of all mother, the queen of all queens.
Do you have a less blurry picture?
No, it wouldn't. Like, I don't know what was going on when I was getting my screenshot. Like, it would not. Like, it gets worse here for a second, and then it starts to get better again. But this was the best that I could get. I'm like, what is going on with Paramount Plus? Because it would not clear up to save my life. But what did you think of RuPaul this week?
I actually like this look. It looks like something, if I was skinty and had some body, I would wear.
Hell, even I'm not skinny with nobody, and I would still put this on.
I probably still would try to put it on because it gives you some shape. Like even the corset's really good. The corset's really nice. Just.
But what's your score for Mother?
I give this an A.
I give this an A minus, and you want to know why?
This is the wig.
Pull it down, damn it!
To be completely honest, I really think it is pulled down. I think that little kick up that they do for the front of it is just so high. It makes her forehead look longer.
I'm going to need them to get it together, because they got it together for the end of 17. So I'm hoping for the end of 10 is together.
Because it's either that or the fact that
she don't have someone doing her hair. She just picks up a wig and put it on.
I honestly feel like it might be the angle that we're seeing it, because most of the time when we get angles of her, they're either front, like head on, or
Or
underneath. And this is the first time I think we've seen like an overhead, like camera
no,
angle.
no, we've gotten overheads before and it's still. But anyway, let's get to the Stagecooch and baby these videos that they got. I'm like, y'all better, okay?
Because they reference, because that's what it looks like. It looks like ACL.
It's so funny that you said that because the look I would have done would have been pulled from her ACL, but we'll talk about it. So it is now time for Stagecooch. Up first, we have the mud flaps. And oh god, these photos, Jesus! Up first is Cynthia Lee Fontaine. I thought she did fantastic.
She did, even if I didn't understand half of what came out of her mouth.
Like, her vocal was good. She knew the choreography. I thought she did great.
I thought she did a really good job.
Up next is Diabetti. How did you think Diabetti did?
I thought Diabetti did a pretty decent job. I had to think about it for a second. I think she did a really good job. Like, and it's so funny to me, outfit wise, that the people who are like, no, I'm rocking country, all came like countrified outfit.
I imagine they were told to bring a country look. That's why I'm a little confused about Denali when we get to her in the next group. Yeah, but for me, I thought Diabetti did a really good job. I really liked her verse. She really gave the attitude of Key Your Car. So, yeah. And then we have Ginger Minge, who is... Country is what she do. This was just amazing, immaculate. She looks stunning.
She told a really good story.
Oh. And I love how at the beginning where Cuckoo was like, I'm the girlfriend, and Dia was like, I'm the other girlfriend, and she comes out, well, I'm his wife. Oh, I loved it so much.
I look like I'm speaking over here, and I promise you I am not. They're just...
And I love their choreography because it was simple, but it wasn't boring. Right. You know what I'm saying? It was a simple 1, 2, flex like this, 1, 2. You know, we simple. We just need a simple 1, 2, and let's go. But yeah, I thought they did.
We can copy.
Yeah, I thought they did a really good job.
UK hun.
Hey. So now let's move over to the Whiskey Chicks. Up first, we had Acid Betty. First of all, this look right here, amazing acid. Now that wig, I'm gonna let you slide with the wig, but that look, I'm gonna let the wig slide. I'm gonna let it slide.
The wig with the hat. As long as she don't take that hat off, the wig was good to me.
Baby, she came out with, what's this wig, but this outfit is everything. I thought she did a really good job here tonight. Her verse was funny. Well, I didn't fully understand her verse because I didn't really watch Pee Wee Herman a lot, so I didn't catch the reference. So, excuse me, but I thought she did a really good job.
I understood the voice, did not understand the reference because Pee Wee Herman, for some weird reason, by the time I watching it, was off the air.
Same, it was way off the air by the time I came along. I've seen clips, but I've never actually watched.
Exactly, like I've seen clips, I've seen bits and pieces of like Pee Wee Herman's Playhouse. I know it was off the air. I know Paul Rubens was accused of some bull crap having to do with a movie theater, but it is what it is.
Moving onwards to Alyssa Hunter. Again, the outfit.
The outfit was too.
But her verse, even when she was recording it, they were like, hey, just use your regular voice. You don't have to put on the, hey, y'all, how y'all doing down here?
Right.
I know it's country, baby, but you can still add your Latina flair. And by the end,
Exactly.
you could hear it. I'm like, okay, that's good. But the way Alyssa started it, I'm like, sis, stop.
No. It was like, because they were like, it straight up sounded like the Muppet Connection.
Oh yeah, like they were calling her a Muppet for a reason.
I know.
Honestly, Tamar Braxton should have been the guest judge for this episode.
Impression. It was a really bad Kermit impression.
You didn't hear me?
No, what'd you say?
I said Tamar Braxton should have been the special guest judge for this episode.
Oh God. Oh God. Oh God.
I love Tamar, y'all, but baby, when K Michelle called her a Muppet, I lost it. But anyway.
Anyway.
Then we have Denali. Now, she shut it down. She did such an amazing job. My biggest thing is, what do you got on? This is not country, honey. This ain't even like country pop. You're giving me this as a gig on the weekend, honey.
It was given Pamela Anderson on ice.
Like, did something happen to the outfit and you had to pull this out last minute? Like, I am confused.
I think maybe they just came up with a color scheme and she was like, this is the only purple thing I got.
Because I was thinking more along the line is she brought a country outfit, but maybe it's not the best to dance in. Mm-hmm. So she was like, oh, I need to switch this up. But I thought she did a great job. Honestly, the best on her team.
She did. She did a great job. It kind of made me wonder a little bit because they sat there and complained about some other folks rapping, talking, doing their verses too fast. And I'm like, I barely understood like every third word that came out of Denali's mouth. And you guys were like, yeah, that's exceptional.
I understood her. I thought it was great. So my question for you is, which group?
Saying she shouldn't have won or that she didn't do good. She did great.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying that they're not very consistent.
Oh no, they never are consistent when it comes to the judging on this show.
How they're judging folks.
So, who had your favorite, Key Your Car or Trailer Hitch? I'm sorry, the Mud Flaps or the Whiskey Chicks?
The Whiskey Chicks, no matter how unoriginal they're be.
For me, I thought the Mud Flaps were the better group. I thought they had the better verses. Minus Denali. Denali did great over there. But I thought they had the better verses. Their choreography was good. But I also want to give Denali props for the choreography for Whiskey Chicks. Because she did that. She did that. She really did. I'm going to give her that. But I still think verses-wise, performance-wise, all around, I think the Mud Flaps for me. So, now it is time for the runway. The category is The Night of 1,000 Miley Cyruses. So, Roxy St. James.
Yes.
If you were given a list and you saw The Night of 1,000 Miley Cyruses, which Miley Cyrus look would you have pulled out?
So, if this was filmed before this past weekend, or this past week, then it would have been the Bob Mackie look because I loved that look. However, if it had been filmed after this week, then it probably would have been the Beyonce look because that was tea.
I love that look that she wore in Paris. Now, for me, as soon as it said A Night of 1,000 Miley Cyruses, of course, I had to pause and I had to start looking at Miley looks in the past. I found one from the ACL 2021. Hold on, let me see if I could. I don't know if y'all can see it or not. But I found this look here. And I'm like, ooh, I would recreate this. And of course, make the hair better.
I did have an idea. I thought about doing a 2-in-1 to like a reveal.
Oh, kind of like Denali did?
Yeah, but I was thinking I would do like one of her Hannah Montana looks,
Yeah.
and then take the wig off and reveal to a Miley Cyrus nowadays look,
Yeah.
and you be like Miley through the decade.
Yeah. But let's get into these queens here. Up first, we had Acid Betty serving the VMA Awards. What did you think of Acid Betty?
This brown look is nice. Hold on, let me go back to the screenshots. This was really good, actually.
Mm-hmm.
I did not a big fan of the mohawk, but I understood that was her little piece of Acid Betty coming back, and I was just like, you probably should have split that in the back so you could walk in it, because you couldn't walk in it. That was the only problem I had, was she couldn't walk in it. So for this, I give it a B plus.
For me, in this household, I loved it. I thought this was a great combination of Miley and Acid. I loved every piece of this, so I'm giving it an A plus. Love this. I want one.
Yes.
Up next, we have Alyssa Hunter serving the Grammys with the Bob Mackie.
Yes.
I thought this was a great recreation. It was so much fun. It gets an A for me.
It gets an A plus from me because it looked like she just took it off the rack and was like, here you go.
Yeah, like she did a really good job. If she made it or she got somebody else to make it, like this was really good.
Mm-hmm.
Like I agree with you. I'm like, baby, did you go to Bob Mackey's house?
Okay.
Did you go in the calls and be like, let me take this right here, thank you.
Right. Like, wait a minute, because who had his stuff?
I don't. You know, a lot of people have his stuff. Kimura Hall does have a good chunk of his collection.
Yes, because I would pull a Kimura Hall and be like, yes, I'm gonna need this Bob Mackie right here.
Right here. Right here.
Do you think Bob Mackie makes anything plus size?
I don't think so.
Bob Mackie, I'm gonna need you to figure out. Look, either you and Christian Siriano need to get together, because Christian Siriano be making people just.
Yeah. So let's move onwards to Denali. She was serving from the VMAs as well, but from her actual performance.
Mm-hmm.
First, she came out with the mouse look, and then she went to the foam finger look. So, what did you think of Denali?
Denali has been working on her fitness.
She's my witness.
This was actually pretty dang good. Like, pretty dang good recreation.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh my goodness. I was like, okay, Denali, trying real hard. Denali said, I am going to be perfection. This gets an A from me.
I have to agree with your A. I thought these are a really good creation of those ugly outfits that she wore. Because, baby, I remember watching that VMAs live. I'm like, Molly, what you got on? Who approved this? And now you're almost naked twerking on. What are we doing here? But, yes, I thought this was a really good recreation. You know,
the look that got Robin Thicke divorced.
But yeah, I agree with your A. Let's see. Up next, we have Cynthia Lee Fontaine, also from the VMAs. I'm like, baby, did y'all just love the VMAs? Like, what's going on?
I think that's just the only reference some of them had.
Yes, and she pulled it from the look. I want to say this was it the same night? I think this was the year after.
Next year.
Yeah.
This is the next year, because I think this was the one where Nicki Minaj was like, so Miley was good.
Yeah, this is one where she released that Drugs album. That album. Yeah, punk punt. Yeah, the peace. Oh, but I don't give a ain't no hippie.
You're so stupid.
That was the only one of the two songs I liked on that album, because the other one was Baby Talk. Oh, that one I still bump on the regular. I'm like, come on, Baby Talk. But yeah, Cynthia Leaf brought this look here, and I'm really shocked they showed this picture because Courtney's in it.
Courtney.
Yeah, I was shocked because, Drag Race has, kind of stepped away from Courtney, but now they're slowly starting to mention her and show her on the show again. I'm like, are we turning the leaf? Is there a chance we can get Courtney back on the show?
Hey, who knows?
I would love Courtney back, but yes.
I know that I watched the podcast and Courtney said that she thinks that part of the reason why they haven't invited her back is because she has her podcast with Willem.
That's what Alaska said, yes.
Oh, yeah, Alaska, my bad.
But if you see right here in the middle, our angel Jiggly, rest in peace. But yeah, this look, I thought it was a good recreation of the look. But it's also, something's off about it. I don't know what, though. So it gets a B+. Usually I can give some sort of constructive, but I'm like, I don't know this time. B+.
Right. I think it's just the way that it's being presented may be part of the problem. Because that jacket is not in the original look. Mm-hmm. That jacket is just, it might have been there eventually, but it wasn't there to begin with. So, I don't know. I give it a C-. Not my favorite.
Next, we have Daya Betty. Now, I only got one of Daya? Shame on me. Usually I get one side by side and then one by themselves. But Daya Betty, I believe this is from the Met Gala?
Huh?
This is from the Met Gala, correct?
That's what they said.
Okay, I wanted to make sure I couldn't remember or not.
What Met Gala it was, but they said it was from the Met Gala.
But what did you think of Daya Betty with this Met Gala inspired look?
Honestly, she did exactly what the judges said she did. She dragged it up. It looks a lot more elegant on her than it actually does on Miley.
I agree.
Even with that hair, because that hair is part of the problem on Miley.
I love the hair on Daya Betty. Now, Miley... But on Daya Betty...
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Like, it looks really good on Daya. Daya made it look really regal and elevated. It looks like a crown as opposed to, I cut my hair really short. I don't know what to do with it. Yada, yada, yada. Because as short as her hair is, they could have gave her some finger waves and she would have killed this outfit. But I'm not her stylist, so.
Someone get Law Roach on the phone. But what score do you give this?
For Daya gets an A.
Daya also gets an A for me. I agree with your assessment. I thought this was so fun. And a different side of Daya. We don't really see this side of Daya often. So,
and that's the other thing, too, because it was like, oh, she looks really, really regal and elegant, and, like, she carried herself completely different than the way that she normally carries herself in this outfit.
Mm-hmm. And then we have Ginger Minj from I believe it's the VMA Awards again, but during her Younger Now era.
I don't know that album.
I know. I listened to the album. It was a cute country album. It really was. She's Not Him is my favorite song off that album. Mm-hmm. Baby, She's Not Him. I was like, yeah, I love you, Miley. And then,
that must have been she was dating that woman after her divorce. Wait, was it after her divorce or was it while they were separated?
I think it was after. I'm not sure, but it is a reference to her. And then there is the Thinking.
It was when they were separated because she did that whole little shebang. Then she had her, because by the time she got back with the Hemsworth brother, the lesser known Hemsworth brother, all of her all of her hair had grown back and she had just went platinum blonde and was like, okay, I'm gonna be a lady now.
But yeah, there's another song called Thinking on there, like really good. Fun album. But I think Ginger Minge did a really good job with recreating this look. I love the minge on the belt, and I didn't even notice that until the judges pointed that out. I'm like, oh, that is minge on the belt. That is so cute. So overall, this gets a solid A- from me. What did you think of Ginger and her minge?
This gets a B from me. I like it. It's pretty. It's blue. I understand, needing to cover oneself up for insecurity reasons. I like the holes inside of the pants though. So yeah, this gets a solid B from me.
All right. So out of all of our amazing queens here, who had your favorite look of the night?
I'm gonna say it was Diabetes.
I would have to say mine is Acid Betty. So the Betty household gets it tonight, okay? So RuPaul, after the deliberations, stated that Denali and Ginger Minge are the top 2 queens of the week. Do you agree?
Based off of performance, yes. The outfits kind of pushed it over the edge, and it's like, okay, they weren't my personal favorite, but I understand.
Now, for me, I don't agree, because you know me, I'm big on if you work as a group, judged as a group, and I thought the Mudflaps were a lot better than Whiskey Chicks, so I would have had Ginger Minge and Diabetes up here. Now, if we were judging individually, yeah, Denali, cool. But you know me, I'm all for, you work as a team, you're judged as a team. So I would have Ginger and Diabetes here, which would be great because last week I would have had Acid Betty and Denali up there, so it all would have played out evenly. But yes, they received 2 points, taking Denali to 3 and Ginger to 5.
Yes.
It is now time for the infamous lip sync. Denali versus Ginger Minge. I'm gonna go first.
Yeah, you do that.
Ginger won this lip sync.
She did.
Hands down. Denali, in my opinion, was trying so hard to create another 100% Pure Love. She didn't make a next See You Again by Miley Cyrus.
Right.
A lot of her movements didn't fit the song. So I felt like if she would have cut like 50% of them and really gave us what the song is, because yeah, See You Again can be a dancey song, but it's not. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is a dancey song, but it's not. Like, you're not doing the flips and whips and dips and tricks to See You Again. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not even here to say Ginger did an amazing job, because she just did okay as well. But for me, I thought Denali lost this lip sync. Everybody's in an uproar online. But baby, just because you can do the flips, tricks, and dips doesn't mean you do it to every song. For me, See You Again is not that type of song. See You Again is that type of song you build up to it. And then when you get to that final, the last time I break down, that's when you pull out all the flips, flip, flop. That's the moment for it. And, well, not right now. We're talking about the lip sync. At first, I thought it was pretty even with Denali doing the most.
Right.
It wasn't until Denali bent over and showed the whole world all her business back there. And I got RuPaul's shot. Here she is, bent over. And then here's RuPaul's face. Because that was my face, too. I'm like... And after that, that's how I looked at Denali through the whole lip sync. I'm like, girl, you're doing too much. This is See You Again by Miley Cyrus. You don't do all this to See You Again. And it really irritates me, because we can go ahead and discuss this once again. The hate that's being sent to Ginger Minge. You can't be mad that
Oh,
she's a
you see her
fabulous
body
drag.
now?
Huh?
You see her body now?
Baby. I'm like, okay, Miss Minge.
Dude.
But yeah, it really irritates me because you can't be mad that she's a fabulous queen, darling. You can't be mad that she's eating up these challenges. Yeah, they are kind of geared to her, but it's not her fault. If you're going to be mad at anybody, here's the person to be mad at. RuPaul. Michelle Visage. The other producers on the show.
Right.
And I'm not trying to be funny, but if RuPaul wants a certain person to win, then RuPaul just wants a certain person to win. At least she's doing good in the challenges. Because I would be pissed if she was sitting here just being boo-boo garbage in all the challenges and still being pushed like this. Ginger Minge is an amazing drag queen. Amazing drag queen. She makes good TV. There's a reason why she's been asked to do this 4 times. She makes good TV. And honestly, the more hate I see online for Ginger, the more I want to scream Team Ginger. Because at this point, it looks like she's going to make the merger. Unless some weird, crazy bullshit happens next week. But with 6 points, she's going to make it.
Right.
At this point, I'm ready to scream Team Ginger. Just out of spite. Just out of spite. Because she's doing a great job. 2 things can be true at the same time. Does the production have a favorite when it comes to Ginger Minge? Yes. But is also Ginger Minge killing it? Yes. So let's stop. It's like last week we had to talk about it. This week we got to talk about it. Stop sending that girl hate. It's a TV show. At the end of the day, none of this truly matters. But hey, I'm going to get off my soapbox. Leave Ginger alone. Damn. So, back to the lip sync. Yeah, what did you think? I know I kind of went off on the tangent there. What did you...
I got things to say, but I'm going to let him wait, because I'm going to get drowned out.
Go ahead, boo. What you got to say?
So, like, how I felt about it, like, when I watched it the first time, I just kind of watched it. And then the next time I watched it, I was just like, I agree that Denali was doing, like, entirely too much. Like, I get it, you're a performer, but you have to figure out who you're catering to. Because, yeah, the younger audience know the flips, the dips, the tricks, the things. But you have to know, like, the song to do it with. It seems like you were back there. And I get it. You're a choreographer, you're a dancer, you're a skater. So everything is going to be choreographed. This seemed entirely too rehearsed. Like, nothing seemed spontaneous. It didn't seem like you were in the moment. You have to go over here and hit this. Now I need to go over here and hit this. And you were hitting like every single note, and it seemed like that was just entirely way too much. And as far as like there being hate for Ginger, am I a Ginger Minge fan? No. However, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, I think that it's just totally completely rigged for Ginger to win. If it is, that's not Rue's fault. If it is, that's not anybody else's fault but the producers. Or, you know, that's just what we're seeing. Is they want you to lean a certain way, and it is what
it is. What it is.
But we got too much shit going on right now in the world. Too much fucking shit. To be sitting here hating on other people. That is not the path to healing that you need to go down. Trolling people and making people feel worse about themselves. You don't know how people cope with stress. You don't know how people cope with hate. You could sit here and eventually we will go down the line. I mean, all of this copious amounts of hate have turned really great queens into really bad people.
Tyler.
Like people that we've had to cancel, people that as a community we've kind of been like, okay, I'm on your never mind. And it's only because of how they're reacting. To quote, it's like you're telling me
come on
how to react, but you're not telling me how to act.
You're not telling her how to act. Baby, that is my favorite quote to ever come out of Drag Race. When when the Vixen said that,
I bring that quote into the classroom daily. I'm not going to tell you how to act, but I'm not going to tell you how to react, but I am going to, because how you act is like both of my kids will get in trouble. Because I'm like, no, because you shouldn't have did this, but you shouldn't have did this. So I'm telling you how to act and I'm telling you how to react, because this is not right.
Yeah.
Stop coming for these people. You bleed red every single day. We are all on the same dang team. We are all LGBTQI plus people who watch these shows. Even if you're not on that particular team, if you are just an ally, we are all on the same side. I do not understand why there has to be interpersonal hate. It's stupid.
It's stupid. And just to tag on to that, like you said, we're people. If you're not liking what's going on with the show, stop watching. I'm just gonna be at this point, stop watching.
Exactly.
Because nobody deserves to be talked to, treated that way, sent death threats, all this other stuff that is not necessary. Like, there's a lot of times we've been reviewing this show now for 3 years.
6 years.
4 years, because we started with 12. We've been doing this for 4 years now. And there's been several queens me and you have not really vibed with, didn't care for. But do you see us going into their inboxes and sending them hate? Do you see us replying to their messages on Twitter saying, you're ugly? No.
The closest I've come to hate was telling somebody that they couldn't lip sync, and then they decided that they were going to inbox on Instagram and be like, no, I can lip sync, I was just doing the thing. And that had to I had to open up my mind and be like, you're right, okay. And then that was auntie from that point on. Like, I sat there and waited 2 days to see them at drag.
Yes.
These are just people. These are human beings. You really, really need to freaking understand that.
Yeah.
It makes absolutely no sense.
Not at all.
The amount of hate and like just ugliness that gets spit at these people. Mm-hmm. If you don't like them, then just don't follow them. Don't tag them on nothing. There are plenty of queens that I'm not the biggest freaking fans of. Do I spit hate at them? No. I just don't follow them on X or Blue Sky. And I'm
not going to make a whole post talking about, oh, it's rigged for her. She's such a terrible person. Shut the fuck up. And I mean that from the deepest of my soul. Shut the fuck up. Stop watching the show.
And look, and then on top of that, on top of everything else, sometimes it takes a second or third look. I went back and for shits and gigs, and because it happened to have the entire season on YouTube, I went back and watched All Stars 7.
I saw what they posted.
Because did I agree with Jinx Monsoon winning the first time? No, because I think Monet killed that lip sync. However, I went back, I watched the entire season, and I was like, you know what? Jinx really did that. If you're going to culminate everything, yeah, she really fluffing did. Okay, I see why she won.
I remember saying, like, I'm not mad that Jinx won. It's just...
Right.
I really thought Monet had it because I think she did. Now, did she do as great as Jinx? No. But she had really high moments as well, and she killed that finale. And I'm like, well, that's enough for me. But yeah, I've never once said, oh, let's snatch the crown off of Jinx. Hell, there's a lot of winners that I didn't agree with. But when I see them, I'm going to give them respect as the winner that they are.
Exactly.
Like, I really want to
Like, it's not
I really
that
want to
hard.
go to Jinx and Dayla's Christmas show this year. The tickets, I think, are either about to be up or going to be up soon. So I'm thinking about getting us some from when they go to your neck of the woods, because they'll never be in mine. They will never be in
Let's
mine.
make sure. I'm hoping that they do it after the 22nd. Come after the 22nd. Because other than that, it's going to be a dry.
So,
Or you going to have to find your way up here.
with Ginger winning the lip sync, she now has 6 points, which leaves a
Yes.
final count of Ginger with 6, Denali with 3, Daya with 2, Cynthia, Alyssa, and Acid with 1 point. So in my eyes, Ginger made the merge. Even if she don't get a single point next week, she's made the merge.
Yeah.
So now all these
I
other
mean,
queens
and
really got to
honestly-
push through.
I mean, in all honesty, depending on what they do with the points next week, you've got your top 3 right there. Ginger, Denali, and Daya.
But if Acid has her way and they pile all their points onto one queen, and if they do it twice, like at the top of the episode and at the end, that could bump either Daya or Denali out, depending on, how they fall next week on the win.
Oh, no, because Acid said that she was willing to push Denali. She said it's going to be one of y'all.
But I think now that Denali got this win, I don't think she's willing to do it. I think she's going to be willing to do it to Alyssa or Cuckoo before she does it to the others. But honestly, I hope that they will just push Acid, because I really want Acid Betty to go through. I'm going to keep saying it. Please, y'all, push Acid. I want more of Acid, okay? I'm not getting no more Nicole Page Brooks from Atlanta, Georgia. So please let me get some more Acid Betty, okay? So, the queens danced the night away, except for one. It was hard to get the screenshot. But there was a rumor going around that after RuPaul said let the music play, Denali just stormed off the stage. And there is 1 point. I couldn't get the screenshot of it. But you see Denali and she is walking towards the entrance of the runway. And I'm like, wait, is this true? She just stormed off the stage? I'm like, Denali, you can't be that mad, girl.
No.
Because honestly, I was looking at the rest of it. Yeah, the other 5 were just dancing and she was gone. I'm like, oh.
Right.
Oh. Okay.
Now, here's my thing. Because if that had actually happened, if she had actually stormed off, then there would have been some allusion to it either in the preview, or they would have just stopped the exit and been like, hey, come back, yada, yada, yada.
Well, if you look, from the preview next week, it looks like Ginger and Denali is going to have a moment. So it could be kind of like previously and show her doing that, because they've done that before.
Right. So maybe, I don't know. I think in my delulu head, everybody was dancing. She just kind of danced off, and then everybody started following.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why you don't see her, because she was just like, I don't feel like kikiing with the rest of y'all right now because I'm in my feelings.
But next week, we see a moment between the two. And then we're going to have the Golden Bachelor next week. I love the Bachelor from All Stars 3. I've been wondering why we haven't done another one. So I love the twist on this. They're making it with dogs and then calling it the Golden Bachelor. Because in my eyes, I'm like, if you're calling it the Golden Bachelor, they're going to dress like old ladies. Because, they got the Golden Bachelor now. But yeah, I love this little twist. And apparently, I think somebody said this young man on his knees is from Love Island, I believe. He was on a season of Love Island, I believe. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, I believe he was on one of the reality shows. So he's here, and it looks like it's going to be a good old time. But honey, that's all I got.
That's all I got.
You have anything else you want to add to the show?
Nope, you can find me at Cresh McGill, that's CRESHAMCGILL, on all social media.
And
And I'm send you my Amazon link.
okay, to put in there. Yes, 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 yes. And you can find me on all social media platforms at Simply Desmond. That's SIMPLYDSMOND. Thank you so much for sharing a piece of your day with us. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. See you soon.